This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we're the ones who've encouraged you all along to like and share them on your favorite social network and with all your friends and neighbors, because it's time for the science of caring. Carebag presents Careology, hosted by the one and only Roxy Brown.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Well, it's a beautiful Monday, but you know what? A lot of us are shaken up of what has happened this weekend in our country. You guys know I do not talk politics, but sometimes you got to talk about certain things that are happening. And, you know, we live in a country where we have crazy behind people, and I am very, very grateful that what happened in Pennsylvania this weekend was very minor. That's all I'm going to say, because I think we would have been headed for World War III if anything worse would have happened. So, you know, to the Trump family, we are happy that it was just an air. That's what I'm going to say. Violence should not be taken to anyone. You know, it doesn't matter who you like, who you don't like. You know, there is no room for violence, and we need to say it so people could understand. If you don't like somebody, then you just don't vote for them. If you like somebody, vote. Going to that extreme measure of violence is unnecessary. It's uncalled for, and that's not what our country was based on. So we want to wish everyone a happy Monday. It is the start of the week. It is beautiful. The weather said that even though the temperature may be saying 85, 87 degrees, it might be feeling like 110 and 112 when I said you got to be joking. But this is South Florida, so you know what? We're accustomed to it. We have a great show for you today. But before we start our great show, you guys know that I like to go ahead and do a little house cleaning about Carebag. So for those of you who are listening, those of you who have been with us from when we started years ago at 6 p.m. and are still with us, we say thank you. Thank you for being loyal to us. And for those of you who are just tuning in, it is such a pleasure to have you. So Carebag is a local nonprofit here on the Treasure Coast, and we serve the Treasure Coast and the Palm Beaches. And we do something very well. We give access to proper hygiene. And you may say, how do we do that? We do this through our 3 mobile shower units and our first of a kind in the state of Florida, a mobile hygiene pantry. We go to food banks, we go to soup kitchens, and we serve the unhoused and families that are in extreme crisis. This extreme crisis, you know, gets even exacerbated after time, because now it's the summer. Kids are not in school. They're not getting that breakfast. They're not getting that lunch. They're home. The little bit of the money that families had to kind of hold back for gas or hold back for any little thing they may need, they're not having to spend it because kids, I don't know, when kids are home, they seem to be hungrier. I don't understand. When you're at school, you go to school, you have lunch, you have your snack, you know, but when you're home, it's like every 2, 3 hours, you're eating. And every kid does that. Whether you have it or whether you don't, kids are hungry. And, you know, I was listening to the news this morning, and they were talking to a gentleman in Gaza, and he said one of the most hurtful things is when his child looks at him and says, I'm thirsty and I'm hungry, and he can't even find an apple. So when a child is hungry, you want to make sure this child eats. And so the parents are going through this over this holiday, the summer break. But just imagine that little toilet paper, toothpaste you can buy. You can no longer do that. This is where Carebag Incorporated comes in. So we've been doing this for 7 years. Our 3 shower units are stationed between Fort Pierce on Avenue A at the Methodist Church here, right here on Avenue A off US 1. Then we have our other shower unit in Vero in conjunction with the First Methodist Church of Vero and the Salvation Army. And our third mobile shower unit is mobile, that goes to various locations, but it is slated for Palm Beach. It will be in Palm Beach in the next week and a half down there, and we're so excited to be back down there again. So that is what Carebag does. We have our main event coming up in just a couple of weeks, and that is August 11th, we are going to be at the Mid Florida Event Center for our fourth annual back to school event. And we are just excited. We have so many great partners, and we're excited because number one, we have our community backing and support for this. We want to say thank you to Grows of Builders. Thank you for Children's Services Council, Hearts Unfold, Manchester Insurance, especially CBSW, PBF, Channel 25 News. They invited us and did a great little story on us last week, and we are grateful for that. Treasure Coast Lexus, the Porch Factory, Martin County Funeral Home and Crematory, and Southern Eagle, Design a Sign, Wax Unique. We just have, and the city of Port St. Lucie, how can we forget them? But we just want to say thank you so much for everyone coming on board and our other donors. We went ahead and we went through the things that we have, and we realized we do need a couple more things. We need crayons, people. I need crayons and composition books and pencils. For some reason, we are short of that this year. So if you have a heart for giving and you'd like to say, you know what, Roxy, count me in, please, you can reach out to us. Our number is everywhere. I'll say it again, 772-222-7399. We need crayons for all ages. Our little ones, we don't have enough crayons. We need pencils. We need composition books. We need loose leaf paper. We want to make sure every backpack that we give these child have some essentials in there so they can do something in school. These are our kids. It says it takes a village, so these are our kids. If they don't have what they need, they can't function in school. They cannot begin to be productive individuals. This is where this starts. They need to be productive individuals from kindergarten up. They need to know what they need. They need to know when they go to school, they can concentrate on what the person in front of them is teaching them, our teachers. And not having is just another barrier for them again. So we're giving them nice new haircuts and hairstyles August 11th, and we want every kid, the first 350, to walk out with a backpack. It might not have every essential, but it will have the basics that the child needs or something that might be missing. So if you'd like to go ahead and participate with that with us, please let us know by calling 772-222-7399. If you want to go and shop, you can call, you can text, and just let us know. So I'm going to put it out there. Don't call me right now because I can't answer, because people do that.
She's on the radio.
Don't call me right now because I can't answer. And our next event that we have coming up, which I am over the moon excited about, is our October 26th, and that is our Jeepers Creepers at the Met Stadium. And we are just really, really excited about that because this is a way that we're going to be able to showcase what we have, what we're doing in the community. And we already have some great individuals on board to sponsor this. We have a VIP showcase. We're going to have a car show, best costume, music, games, vendors, live DJ, food trucks, and drinks. We're going to have a nice glow tent party, not a haunted house, but a nice glow tent party for the kids. But you can come in your costumes, but we're saying no mask. I'm saying no mask for a reason. If we want to see you, those that want to hide behind something are up to no bloody good. So I want to see you, no mask. We will ask you to leave. This is a free event, and it is open to all of the Treasure Coast. And again, All Roads Trucking, the city of Port St. Lucie, Design a Sign, Lexus, and we have Hearts and Full Production that are actually going ahead and taking care of this. And it's going to be a spectacular event. This is the third annual Jeepers Creepers, but it's under new management, Careback new management. So anyone that knows me knows it is going to be fabulous. Great cars, nice. We're going to have tricked up Jeeps, tricked up Broncos. So this is going to be great. So if you're interested, go to our website, givecarebag.com, and it will take you to our official website, and you can learn everything that we have going on for this year. So we have our back to school August 11th, and then October 26th, we have our Jeepers Creepers at the Met Stadium right here on the Treasure Coast. So we have a great show today. Everyone sees me. Why is Roxy talking so fast? I just want to get to the show. So, excuse me. When I first came on the scene with CareBag, I did something amazing that really no one has done. I decided to have a gala when I didn't have anything. They said you have to start big. You have to think big. And I think big. I don't think small. Nothing about me is small. And I had an event and I called. I didn't really know her. I really didn't know her, but I knew about her. She knew about me and I knew about her. And I called her and I said in my nice little voice, I think I might have put a little English twang on that. Is it possible that we can have a painting that we can go ahead and auction off at our gala? I didn't know what she was going to say. And she said, sure. I was like, all right. And that's what started. So, anyone that knows me, I am not a phone person. I don't like to talk on the phone, I don't like to call. But I don't have to call you to know how you're doing. When I call you, our conversation starts off where we left off because I'm not one to sit on my hands. I'm busy, I'm doing stuff. And likewise, I know you are. And I call her because I wanted to say congratulations because we are going to have a highway men museum coming here on the Treasure Coast. Um, I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to take away from it. But the city of Fort Pierce, Florida Highwaymen Museum is going to be coming here, and we want it to come even quicker. And I am going to have my guest, my friend, I'm going to call her my friend because she's dressed in one of my favorite colors. And we're going to ask her to talk into the mic because this is not new to her. And we want her to introduce herself, and we want her to tell us well, first of all, they had a groundbreaking ceremony last week, Tuesday, and I could not make it. So I said, if I could not make it there, I'm going to bring her to me. And I am honored to have you here. It's such a privilege to have you. I know the work you do. I know just what I know about you is it's just amazing, and it's an honor. So I'd like you to introduce yourself to our guests. We have 96 countries that are going to be listening on this, and we want to know some. This is what I tell someone when they sit beside me. You don't know who's out there listening, and I gotta say this comment. Our lovely governor has cut the arts for our state, and shame, DeSantis, shame on you. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. Shame on you. For someone that has walked through the Louvre, from someone that has visited museums all over the world, has gone in and sat in the Vatican and looked up and saw the Sixtine Chapel, to walk and see the Eiffel Tower, to go through museums in London, all around the world. I'm a New Yorker, so I love museums. I've traveled around the world. I love the arts. For you to take that away, you have robbed us. You have robbed us to the highest level. But I'm not going to make this political because I can really get on a high horse right now. But this is not about him. So because of that, we need you to make sure this happens. To make sure this happens. We need you to make sure this happens. And I don't want her to forget it. They're going to have brick pavers out there, and I'm getting 2 brick pavers. I'm putting them in my dad and my daughter's name because I always want their legacy to live on. And what a good way for their legacy to live on. But I'm taking your time. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning, Roxy.
Good morning, darling.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I appreciate your work. I don't ever want to forget that about
you.
taking care of the unhoused and that you have done here. Actually was on the Treasure Coast, and now you expanded everywhere.
Where they need us, we will go. We're Jesus' feet. We're like Jesus' feet. There you go.
Absolutely. But thank you for having me and to talk about the Highwayman Museum.
Yeah.
And first I want to thank the city of Fort Pierce. They have been a great partner. Without them, this would not be happening. They provided the building, which we didn't have. And this has been a dream for years that just didn't materialize. This started in the 50s.
Yes. I want you to tell the story.
Yeah, in the 50s. And I'm starting with Alfred Hare.
Okay.
That's who I'm starting with because that was my husband. but he was taking classes from Zenobia Jefferson, who was a teacher at Lincoln Park Academy. And Lincoln Park Academy was the greatest school. That was the nucleus of our neighborhood.
Of your
That
neighborhood,
school,
yeah.
yes. Everybody was there, the parents, the teachers, the principals, everybody would converge to make sure that the children that were attending that school got the best education no matter what was going on.
No, no.
Even though you had other books or you didn't have books,
You were getting an
you were
education.
going to get an
That's
education.
Right. That's how it should be.
That's how
That's
it was.
how it should be. Yes.
That's how it was. And Zenobia Jefferson knew Albert Bean Backus. So Alfred was in Zenobia's class, and there's two versions of the story, and I'm going to give you the version that Alfred told
you.
me.
Right about now, that's the only version we want.
That was the version that
I
Alfred
know.
told me, that Beanie Backus went to Lincoln Park Academy because he wanted to pay it forward and take on a black student to teach his craft to.
Okay.
And he went to the guidance counselor, who in turn went to Zenobia. And Alfred thought or felt that he wasn't the first choice.
Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Monroe, the counselor at Lincoln Park.
We don't know
I
that.
don't remember.
I remember
Well, see, he
that.
remembers,
remember. He
but
was
I
there.
don't remember who the counselor was. Like I said, this is what Alfred told me, because
yeah.
I did not attend Lincoln Park Academy.
Mike jog some memories out there.
Yes, yes. And he said he wasn't the first choice, which I think he felt sort of slighted.
Okay.
And Beanie Backus said, I want the best art student regardless.
Regardless.
And that's how Alfred came to be mentored by Albert Bean
wonderful.
Backus. And during that time, they had vocational education. So Alfred would go to school to around 12, and then after lunch, he would go down to Beanie Backus' house, and Backus would mentor him.
Remember to him. Wow.
Yeah, so that's how, as far as I'm concerned, how it all started with Beanie Backus, Zenobia Jefferson, and Alfred. So I'm not from Fort Pierce. I'm not from Florida at all.
Neither am I. Where are you originally from?
I was born in South Carolina,
Okay.
left there at the age of 2 with my parents to West Virginia,
Okay.
and graduated high school in 1959, Stratton High School, Beckler, West Virginia, in May. June, my father killed my mother,
Ooh. Girl, that's a
And-
whole nother show right there, but go ahead.
and my sister was living in Fort Pierce. My older sister was my aunt, and she came to West Virginia, and that's how I got to
You got
Fort
to
Pierce,
Fort Pierce.
Florida. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, sister.
Yes, that's how I, yes,
Thank you,
Christine brought
sister.
7 children here, ages 3 to 18. 3 to 18.
Wow.
I was 16, my other sister was 18. Yeah.
She took on a lot.
Yeah, and she had 2 children
And
of
she
her
had 2
own,
children
2
of her
small
own.
kids of her
Wow.
own. Yeah, she
You know
did.
what? I think family back then was a different breed. Family back then was a different breed.
You took it
But
on.
we can say family back then, but we also have to say children now are much different. They're much different than how it was. Respect. My husband said that to me. The respect that we had and the respect that we saw, it's gone. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Some have it. Some have it.
Yeah.
But
And
the majority don't. It doesn't
I
exist.
see young parents now teaching their children
Yeah. Yeah.
respect. Please, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I raised my
Some,
grandbaby. No,
some.
I raised my grandbaby,
Yeah.
and when she walks through a door, I tell her whether someone says hello or not. The first thing you
You
do,
speak.
hello, you speak.
That's
yeah,
it.
you speak. And that's it. We're missing.
that's it.
But I deflect. Please go
So,
ahead.
So, time I get here in June, I meet Alfred, my cousin. I'll say step cousin, because took us out to Cole's Drive-In on 25th Street. It was totally dirt street, a dirt road, and it was dark out there. But then it was a lot of, and I thought they were older men. I had no idea they were high school students.
Students, yeah.
But this one person in the crowd, the other guys was trying to ask to go on a date with you, new girl in town, date.
Yeah.
This young man said, he asked, in a question I've never have been asked again. He asked, and this time we were called, what we call, Negroes. I think that was our title then, because they've changed it so over the years. But I think we were called Negroes at the time. And he asked if the Negroes and whites went to school together in West Virginia. You're into who asked that?
That's true. Well, you got to be from the South to ask that.
I
I'm
guess
learning.
so.
Yeah,
I
we're
guess
we're kind of
so.
northerners,
Yeah.
so we're not accustomed to that.
Yeah,
We all go to school.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this, and I said to him, "No," but then I looked at him when he asked that question.
And he was serious.
He was very serious, and he had this beautiful brown eyes and muscles and shoulders and everything. I go
Watch
home
out.
and I have a dream about this guy. I dream about it. I am,
You just met him. You had a dream about him.
and I don't. Far as I know, I don't dream. If I dream, I don't remember. But
Yeah, that's
I
me.
remember this guy in Technicolor. You better believe it. And I said to my cousin, "Who's that guy that asked that question?" And she said to me, "You know that house on 13th Street? He was in the service. He built that house for his mother."
Oh, that got goosebumps.
It wasn't even true. He was going into the 11th grade.
She was messing with
I
you.
had graduated high school.
Yeah.
This dude was a
Younger.
junior.
Yeah. How dare?
He was older than me. Now, let me get that straight, because people always say, "Oh, you were a cougar." No, I was 16. He was 18.
Okay.
They just stayed in school a little
little
longer.
longer,
Yeah. So, but I saw him again. I wanted him to ask me to dance. I guess I willed him to ask me to dance,
Yeah.
and he did. What I didn't know was that he couldn't swing.
Oh, back then it was the swing.
It was the swing.
Okay.
So it started off slowly,
Then it started moving.
Yeah, staggerly.
Yeah, and he
And, oh, he was all
bumping
wild
all
out
of-
on that. Man, I had to pull him
You
in.
had to pull him in.
I had to pull him in.
So those of you can't see us. We're on social media, so if you can see us, you see us. But a lot of you can't. Cliff is over here just dying in the corner laughing. This is, so he couldn't dance. You had to pull him in.
That's it. And then when September, I'm looking around, where's this guy? I used to see him in the daytime. I don't see him in the daytime anymore, because he's in school. That's when I found out he's in school, that he's taking lessons from Beanie Backers. And of course, I'm a working woman. I got a job, have to work, because we got all these little mouths to
Mouths to
feed.
feed.
So at the bus station, as a waitress, if anybody remembers, there used to be a bus station on US 1 and Avenue D, segregated. The white side faced Avenue D, and the black side faced the railroad tracks. And,
Okay.
So I was a waitress there. And Beanie Backer's house was right down the
Around the
street.
street.
Yeah. So I could go down there and I could see Alfred and Beanie painted. And all these years, I actually thought, because Beanie always had like a mason jar. I thought it was water. And then I found out later that it was actually a rum.
Moonshine, probably.
Well, I think he liked Jamaica. You know, he had a place at home in Jamaica,
Jamaica.
too. Yeah, so I think it was the rum.
The white rum.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell.
You can't.
But he
It's
could
crystal
paint.
clear.
He could
paint.
paint. And Alfred listened to him, but he could see that Beanie had commissions. People would come and purchase Beanie paintings, and he didn't have to go out in galleries and everything. But Alfred knew that he couldn't do that.
Right.
So what Alfred did was paint his paintings, put it in at this time Super Sport, and up and down the highway to sell his paintings.
That's where we
And
get
that's
the name.
how we got that.
Highway.
the
So when
highway
did
name.
your love of painting come in?
With Alfred and Beanie? I hadn't really, because I was in West Virginia. It's like in college, you had to decide 10th grade what your major was going to be, and mine was business.
Right.
So not art or anything. Everything was geared towards shorthand typing, accounting, business
Right.
subjects. Yeah. And that's when I could see a blank canvas come out with all of these beautiful colors and scenes, and I fell in love.
You fell in love
I
with it.
fell in love not only with Alfred, In love with the paintings.
I'm gonna pause you right there. See, that's the best way to pause it. I fell in love with Alfred, excuse me, and the paintings. We are going to take a commercial break because I just gotta woo. This is a hot show today. We just gotta cool down, people.
We'll do a big triple woo
A big triple
during the
woo.
break.
We will be back with the story of how the Highwaymen developed and how we're getting this beautiful City of Fort Pierce, Florida Highwaymen Museum right here. We will be back after these important messages from our sponsors. Create custom business signage that customers can't miss or resist. Let Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie help you get the job done right. Over 80 years combined experience. Get it right the first time. Call 772-337-4027 and tell them Roxy said to call. Remember, call 772-337-4020. Design a Sign in Port St. Lucie. Why call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast? You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it? You need the pros that care. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit twomeninatruck.treasurecoast.com. Hi, this is Roxy from Careology, and I just want to talk about volunteering. Volunteers don't necessarily have the time, but they have the heart. It takes courage and dedication to offer your time and skills to help out a cause that is a noble act that deserves recognition. Volunteering is a great way to make a difference in our community, and CareBag needs your help. We are looking for dedicated volunteers. So please get a pen, get a paper, and take down this number. It's 772-222-7399. Call us and let us know you're interested. We are looking for volunteers for the evening hours between 5 and 8 p.m. to go to our soup kitchens with our new mobile hygiene pantry. I look forward to hearing from every one of you. And remember, volunteers don't necessarily have the time, but they have the heart. Thank you.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
We now return to the Science of Caring, Careology. And once again, here's your host, the one and only Roxy Brown.
Good morning again. We're having a great show. You know, when you can sit here and laugh, it's a great show. And it's a show about love, it's a show about history, and it's a show that you can get involved. As much as I love CareBag, and CareBag is the legacy of my child, but sometimes you have to remember that a village is just not you. It is other people, it is other items, it is other things happening. And what way to, I live here now. I'm a New Yorker, I'm a Northerner, but this is home for me. This is home. This is where I'm raising my grandchildren. This is where I have my home. We have our business, and I love this. I love the Treasure Coast. I really love the Treasure Coast, and I love Florida, despite everything that's going on here. But I do love Florida. But before we begin with this, back to this beautiful story, because I want to know, it's only an hour show, so I need to make sure that we can get everything in. I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and put it on our website and on our social media site. To be part of the Highwayman history, you can order your Florida Highwayman specialty license plate voucher. And I was told you have to have 3,000 of these
Absolutely.
before before the state will go ahead and produce them. How much is a license plate, by the way? Do you
It's,
know?
well, The voucher itself
Uh-huh.
is $35.50.
$35.50
Because it's $2.50 for if you use credit card for the
for the
processing fee.
processing. Oh,
So
we
the
all
actual
know.
voucher's $33.
Okay.
If you would go into the tax collector's office, I guess, and pay
Do that.
cash,
Right.
it would be $33. But if you use a credit card online,
Mm-hmm.
it's $35.50.
That's like three specialty coffees, people. I'm not going to say the name. We're going to say three specialty coffees. But not only that, it's a part of history. It's a part of, so the money, once we have the money, that would help towards the museum.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
It goes to the city of Fort Pierce, who in turn
Now
will
turns it
over
over.
to the museum to help operate the museum. Yes,
So
absolutely.
we're going to see, I want to see how many license plate can we get? You know, they always talk about 100 bottles of beer on the wall. Let's see how many license plate that we can knock off and we can get done. You know, sometimes you got to say something. She said, sitting there dying laughing. Sometimes you got to say something in a way that people go, oh, yeah, just to grab their attention. This is talk radio. People are listening. We know people are listening. How many license plate can we get? You know, I dare you guys to go ahead and get a license plate.
It's
I
a
dare you
painting of Alfred. That's Alfred's Ponciana tree that
Yes.
will be on the
on the
license.
license plate. Beautiful Ponciano tree.
And if you don't
Beautiful.
own, can't
vehicle.
afford to buy a painting, you can definitely
put-
have one on your car.
Oh,
if we have those
yes.
3,000 vouchers.
So can I tell my story?
Yes.
So I got a beautiful painting for my gala. Now we had this gala, so I'm gonna let everybody know we didn't have we didn't have the mobile hygiene pantry. We didn't even have a shop. Matter of fact, the mobile hygiene pantry wasn't even a thought. We didn't. We had a dream. We didn't even have a shower unit. We had towels. We had soap. We were collecting everything. I didn't even have a tire. People, I had not even a tire or a lock. And Miss D went ahead and gifted Care Bag a beautiful painting. And let me tell you something. You thought people were gonna rip their gowns and go for this painting because they wanted it. It was a hot bread. And I sat there and I was like, dag, this is me, Cliff. I should have got two. I had two people going at it. They were just going at it. And I know your painting some of your paintings were sitting at the Elliott Museum. I think or he was one of the painters were
Yes.
painting at the Elliott Museum.
Yes.
I want to get my story right, and I don't want to say nothing wrong. But these paintings sit all over the world,
Absolutely.
all
Every
over
place.
the world. Everyone wants it, and we have her sitting right. Oh, I got goosebumps. We have her sitting right here beside us in our beautiful city of Fort Pierce on the Treasure Coast, and. If you want to be a part of the Highwayman history, we are imploring, we are asking, if I gotta beg, I gotta beg. We are begging, please get a voucher. I'm gonna put this online. I'm actually going to give one to Cliff that he can make sure that this sits on our WPSL TV site. I don't know how we're gonna be able to do that because it is a QR code that you have to scan because you have to have a voucher.
I'll include the QR code with the
With
image.
that, and excellent, thank you. So we'll have that, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that on our social media site because with the countries we have listening, with the people that love to look at our archives that have nothing to do in their life and they just want to go ahead and sit and watch, and with close to 3,000 people I have on mine, hopefully we can see what we can do.
And you can gift it.
And you can gift it.
can
If you're,
gift it
I love that.
Yeah, you can gift
So if
it.
you're not in the state of Florida and you want to gift it,
If you have to be a Florida resident, but someone in the Northeast can gift
Gift
it to
it
someone in
here.
Florida that
Okay.
may not even be able to expend the money at that time.
If
Right.
anyone listening would like to gift me a Florida highway, I would love to get one for one of Carebag's vehicles.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be beautiful. So if anyone would like to gift, we are open to receive. If you can see me now, my hands are open. Both hands are just wide open. You can't receive anything if your fists are closed.
That's it.
So my hands are open. If you'd like to gift it, and if don't worry about if, oh, I wonder if someone else gifted. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles.
Wow.
So Carebag has, not me, Carebag has 5 vehicles.
Yes.
So if you'd like to gift that, we would be happy to receive that. Happy to go ahead and support the Highwaymen. Um, and pavers. So if you want to get a beautiful paver, so I did a paver after my dad passed.
Yes.
At the hospice he was. I never liked hospice, but
Yes.
not until he went, and not until I got to see the work and how they work. I
Yes.
was in awe. And I went to sit right after he took his last breath and everything was done. I went to the outside to a little section they have, and I sat on a bench, and there was a gazebo, and I looked
Yes.
down, and they were nothing but pavers with
Yes.
people's names. And the first thing I said, I want one.
Yes.
I want one, because I want one when somebody's feeling like I'm feeling, and they
Yes.
sit there and they look down and they get to see that.
Yeah.
And I got the biggest, I'm not even joking. I was looking, I said I couldn't afford the gazebo. I
Right.
couldn't afford a bench, but I
Right.
got the biggest paver. They had the brick and I got the biggest paver, and they had a space by the bench. I said, I want it right there. That it's a way to commemorate the ones you love, either living or past. We talk about legacy here. Your legacy can go in so many ways. And I think this is, Careback doesn't own a building, but we're hoping to get one soon. But this is beautiful. And we're going to put this on there also. Cliff, I got a lot of stuff for you to put up there. We want to put this on there also because I'm, like I said it live. Everyone can hear me. I'm getting 2 pavers, and one will be in the memory of Lloyd Scott, which is my dad, and one will be in Amelia Brown. And this is a good way for their legacy to keep going on, and it's an honor. It's an honor for us to do this. So I'm gonna
first-
love that.
The first one I bought it in honor of Alfred.
Alfred.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the first
the
paver.
first one.
First paver I bought.
That is good.
For him.
That's it.
And
I love that.
The papers are a 4x4, $100,
Yes.
and 8x8, $200.
$200. Yeah, and it's
So
beautiful.
naturally, I got the 8x8
Of
for
course.
him.
Look, I wouldn't expect. And look, Cliff, would we expect anything different? Don't throw a bench in there, because we're gonna have to do a bench. Don't throw a bench there.
No, don't sit on my name.
Those.
Well, we're having benches in the garden. These pavers are going in the garden.
And then
we're
when the
go-
pavers are done, then you'll put everything
Yeah,
else
and
in.
Anita Princess will be doing
Right.
the benches, with the mosaic.
The
that she-
Zayata-
all the benches. So
oh.
we're going to have a few benches.
Beautiful.
I
can't wait.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I can't wait. We're gonna have to
Yes.
have you coming back when this is
cannot
done, and we hope
wait.
that sometimes you have a gift, you have a goal, and it takes forever. This cannot be forever. This has to be done now, people. So I am imploring you, let's get this done.
It's been going on for so many years
Mm-hmm.
now. To practically everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's gone.
Gone.
You just want to have your eyes open to be able to see
it.
it. And so many
Oh, God.
out of 26 in 2004, 25 men and 1 woman were inducted into the Florida Artists Hall of Fame. And now we're down to 5.
Now you're down to 5. Come on,
And
people,
one
let's get
doesn't
this
even
done.
Participate. So
Yeah.
you're actually
4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, we
so-
need to get this done. We want, nothing is nicer than those that have put into our history are able to see it. It makes their work life. I feel good when I see something that Careback has done that I can witness. So imagine that they can go ahead and witness this, even if they can't, their family can.
Absolutely.
And that is pivotal to making this just great. So we want to implore everyone, think out of your heart right now and just think the legacy and the history that you and your family will be a part of. This is not just you, the legacy your family would leave down. It's pathway to know that I have been a part of this extraordinary event that is happening.
Whether you're in the studio, in the audience out there, if you're in the studio, we're with a living, breathing piece of art history
Living-
right now.
Yes, we are. And I can touch her right now in the purple shirt. She has on a purple shirt. I can touch her. So I want to go back to this beautiful story. When everything happened, we left off, I fell in love with Arthur, and I fell in love with
Alfred-
art.
Alfred and art.
Yes.
Just
A&A.
seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually coming to Florida and coming from West Virginia, I did not think Florida was beautiful.
Hmm.
I did not.
I didn't either. I thought it was just a piece of
Just
peninsula
sand
sand.
and-
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's what us. We're concrete. Northerners were concrete.
with
So
mountains and
yeah, we
just
don't even have
scenery.
that. We
Yeah,
just
it
we
was
have
just
buildings.
flat.
There were mountains where I'm from up in Massachusetts. I was in
Yeah,
Virginia for a while.
there
There
you
were
go.
mountains
There
there.
you go. Oh,
But
Virginia's
when I came to
beautiful.
Florida, I
Flat
was
land.
disappointed because it just is
Yeah.
so bland, and I
Plain.
didn't see the beauty in it yet.
And
Yeah,
that was
that's
It
it.
took the art. It took those paintings to help me
That was
understand how
me.
beautiful it is
Yeah.
here.
That was me.
It took
And
the sunset and the beach.
that's
Yeah.
where I saw it, and then I could appreciate
Appreciate it.
the scenery that was Florida. And like I always say, Africa had a cheap date because we would go our beach. Everything was totally segregated, so we had to go to Frederick Douglass Park, and I didn't think about it then, but now when you go to Frederick Douglass, it's so far out of the Lincoln
way.
Park area.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't get a chance to go. You would go like on the 4th of July or something,
Yes.
like maybe once a year that you would get to go to Frederick Douglass Park and get to see the beach. You didn't see
See
it.
it before. Wow.
Yeah. It was so
Wow.
far
Out of the
town.
way, and no one had
Yeah.
car, buses, none of that.
Exactly.
Wow.
And a lot of children didn't get a chance to see it. But Alfred had a car.
Okay.
At 18, he had a car, and he could fix his car too. So if something went wrong with that car, he
can
could
fix
repair
it,
it. He
repair
could
it.
repair it. Yeah, he could.
A man with tools.
That's
All
I'm
right.
telling you, and muscles.
Ooh. This is a G-rated show, Miss D. So I just have to keep it on G-rated.
I'm talking about shoulders. I'm talking about his shoulders.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to have another show just about him.
Okay.
It
I'm
was
in.
it was shoulders, but it was. I was sort of surprised that
Mesmerized.
he really wasn't an adult.
Yeah.
That he was a junior. Now
junior.
remember, we was talking about
Yeah.
a junior, not an adult, and because they had mustache and
Everything.
Yeah.
Hair, facial.
Yeah.
He
It
he
was easy
worked.
to believe he
Look,
had been in the service.
He worked his magic, so that's all. That's
yes,
important.
he did. Because like, when I found out that I was a working woman, he was a junior. It was too late to turn
It was
back.
too late to turn. The clock had moved.
That's it.
You got to look.
So-
The clock moved. So let me ask you a question here now. He's being mentored and his skill, and now he's selling the paintings on the highway. When did the highwaymen, because we're in segregation, so they just want one person's painting. They don't want anybody else's. I got that. I understand that. A lot of people won't, but we'll explain it in another show to you. When did we come from just working on the paintings to get to where the highwaymen are now? That's the one part of the story I don't know about.
Well, in '60, I went to college. I'm a Rattler. Graduated from
Okay.
Florida A&M in '64. And Alfred didn't go to school, but he followed me to Tallahassee. And so we graduated, and I say we and came back to Fort Pierce the end of '64, December.
Okay.
And we he rented this little one-bedroom apartment that was on Avenue E, and I think that's 11th Street, 11th Court. And we had a Super Sport Chevrolet. Well, here comes Alfred home with a Cadillac. Now, you're in a one-bedroom. We have 2 children in a one-bedroom, and you come home with a Cadillac with nowhere to park. The stop sign is leaning up against the apartment. This is what you come home with. It did not go. I mean,
Cliff, could you imagine the conversation over dinner that
it
night?
did not go over well at
With
all. It makes no sense to a business major
Yeah.
that this is what you're going to spend the money on a car. Well, in October of '65, we moved into our house
All right.
on Dunbar Street.
That's where I came.
That's where
right.
you came to
Oh,
pick up the paint
wow.
on Dunbar Street.
Uh-huh.
So when we moved into the house, then Alfred is painting outside, and everybody in the neighborhood and around can see the art, so they're coming to the house. So then we started having, like me and Backwards have, like an open house. Everybody's coming to the house. And then that's where other people started painting. And in '66, going into '67, Alfred hired Al Black, who was a salesperson. That's when everybody
Started now.
That's
Wanted
it.
to-
Because
okay.
Al would go out and he would sell for everybody. And then flashy, cars, money, and everybody wanted to be an artist or a salesperson.
Okay.
And we had our first salesperson was Clarence Banks, and he had a car. So if you worked for us, you got a car.
Right.
Which I thought you should, like a business, you parked the car in the evening. It didn't go that way. You had
Yeah,
it
they
24
took it everywhere with that. It was their
24
car.
It was their car. So therefore, you had a lot of people that really wanted to work for you,
Because the perks.
and you had, because
Yes.
of the perks. And so that's when Livingston Roberts, Roy McClendon, James Gibson, because Alfred taught James how to paint.
How to paint.
And James and Alfred were in stiff competition with who could sell the most painters, who could paint.
That's a
the
good
fa-
competition
That-
to
it
have.
keeps you moving.
It keeps you moving,
moving. And then my brother, Carnell Smith, came to live with us because he was getting into trouble. And like I said, my older sister had all of us, so it was my opportunity, since we had a house,
To help.
to help. And she did it. Actually, after that, we had the first house of the family.
Congratulations.
And we brought in my younger siblings to give my sister a break. And then we built up, added onto our patio and built a studio to the end of the house. And that way, we could paint at least 20 paintings a day.
Wow.
My brother and I, we would do the background, and Alfred would do
The
details.
The detail.
And then, so you had all of these salespeople coming, and then we had people they thought they were coming to date my sisters. They're beautiful sisters, by the way, my younger sisters. Well, you were coming to learn how to make frames.
I love that.
You thought you were
coming to,
No.
and if you were serious, you would work that frame.
You made those
Hello,
frames.
That's
You made
it.
those frames because everything was in-house.
Okay.
The paintings, because it was Upson board that we would buy the board from East Coast Lumber. The board, we would buy the paint, we would buy the molding, which was molding for your house.
Yeah.
And saw, cut it,
Everything.
paint it, put it together, frame it,
That's
all
it.
that, right
So when you got it, you just hang it up.
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
all of that.
My
was-
first encounter with the highwaymen, I remember this when in high school I went to Beanie Becker's house and saw
Yes.
the students.
Yes.
I didn't get to meet any of them, but I saw them all. But once I started driving, I noticed in US 1 and Midway Road, there'd be a Winnebago there, and there'd be a bunch of paintings all set up around that.
Yeah.
And that was when the first time I saw what was really going on with the
Yeah.
highwaymen.
Wow.
Wow, what a legacy.
And still going, it's even
Yeah.
stronger than it
stronger
was
now,
then.
Bigger than it's
Yeah.
ever been. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a collector.
Wow.
Those
Yes.
paintings are going for Beanie Bacchus prices now.
Oh yes, absolutely.
yes. Well, look, I don't know about you, but when this show's over, I have a what? Oh, she's gonna kill me. Hearts Unfold is going to kill me because we are having a ball, and in January.
Okay.
And I want a highway painting. I only do one fundraiser a year.
All right.
And the last fundraiser we had in January, we had a brunch. And within 4 days, I bought my third shower unit.
Wow.
I bought my third shower unit. God is good. I bought my third. I
Absolutely.
bought my third shower unit, and we have Hearts Unfold production that helps us. And excuse me. And I was telling her all about you, and just for and I have to mention it because if you don't mention it, you get in trouble.
Right. Absolutely.
If you don't mention it, and I
Yes.
cannot afford to get in trouble.
No.
Hearts and Fold the Vet handles everything for Care Bag, and we are having a breast cancer awareness in October, and I'm sitting here looking up the information because if she's listening, she's gonna send it to me right now in an email, which I know that she is listening, and we want to give back because it's a legacy for everyone that is coming in, and it's October the 16th. I mentioned it last week, but I had just to let everyone know how much time I have left.
About 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. We're just keeping it real. We're not hiding anything from anybody. It's everyone knows my show is over at 11 o'clock. So it is we want to just make sure that I give the right information out. It is the Hearts Unfold Breast Cancer Awareness, October the 19th. And it's a breast cancer awareness fundraiser for a pink and white gala luncheon. And it basically celebrates the survivors.
Oh, yes,
It
yes.
celebrates the survivors, and if you have someone that is a survivor, we want you to go ahead and it is a story. It's a heart-to-heart survival story, and it's happening October the 19th at the Cape Club. And there's so many things she has going on. She's offering mammograms. They're gonna have a pink car wash. There's just so many things going on. But I know we are supposed to be having our event January the 16th, I think right before Martin Luther King Day.
Okay.
And it's a white ball. It's a
Okay.
ball.
Yeah.
And I'd love for you to be there.
Oh, wow.
Because you get to
I'll
just
put
dress
it
up
on
in
my
a ball,
calendar.
please. I have 2 minutes left. Is there anything you want to say?
Yes.
Go ahead and say it before our 2 minutes are up.
I want to thank all of our listeners for
Yes.
listening, but I also need sponsors for the museum.
For the museum.
For the museum, we're planning on having it might be a grand opening, or it just may be a soft opening to
Opening,
get all the kinks out at the end of the year.
Okay.
And I would love to have sponsors. Right now, our largest donations we have received have come from downtown Fort Pierce Farmers Market and the Fort Pierce Yacht Club. They have
Okay.
been our
Oh, the Fort Pierce Yacht Club is
Pierce Yacht
beautiful.
Club been our
Yes.
largest supporters
Supporter.
so far. And I would just love for more people from the Treasure Coast to come and support the museum. The highwaymen to be able to exist and to continue from the 50s up until this day. It's
It will be-
deserving of
Is
this.
reserving of this.
And it
Well,
takes all of us to
All
do
of
this.
us. Well, like we always say, it's not about CareBag. It's not always about CareBag. It's about the supporters of CareBag. And this mighty, mighty woman has been a pivotal force in helping CareBag. And this is how we pay it forward.